Hey everyone, welcome to Wavefile. Today we're going to check the track Shores of Orion by Mitch Murder, and we're going to go over the main element, not going to be the whole track. We're going to go for the main chord progression, the bass line, the drums, and there will be a little how-to section. And it's a pattern-based song. What does it mean? It means that the whole track revolves around the chord progression, and the chord progression is going to stay the same, and that's the main pattern. And it's a very interesting way of writing songs, and in terms of economy of ideas, and Mitch Murder is a master at that. So let's get right into it. So we are in the key of G major, and we're going to check the bass line. It's going to help us define the harmony. So we're going to have this, the G here. It's going to be R1. Then we're going to have the A, which is a second note in G major. So it's going to be the 2, and then the fourth is going to be the C. So we're going to have 1 with the G. Then we're going to have 2 with A, and then C, it's going to be 4. So it's a 1, 2, 4 chord progression. So for those that need some help with the harmony, I'm going to show you this G major scale here. So we're going to have this. And so we're going to take this, the 1, 2, then C, the 4. And we're going to work with this for the whole song, and those are the notes that are going to be used in the song. Okay, now let's check the basic chords before we go into the actual chord progression. And we're going to build the basic chord here. So, like I said before with the bass line, we're going to work with the G, the A, B, C. G, A, and C. So we're going to build a chord with this. I'm going to unfold this. And we're going to play the G here and build a chord over this. So we're going to have the root, the B, which is the 3rd, and the D, which is the 5th. So that's a G major chord. Then on the second one, we're going to have the A, C, which is the 3rd, the root, 3rd, and the E, which is the 5th. And then we're going to go to the C. Now on the C, we're going to build this. C, root, E, the 3rd, and then the G, which is the 5th. So those are the chords. I'm going to play them on the keyboard, actually, so you can see what it sounds like. One more time. So this is a chord progression: 1, 2, 4, G major, A minor, C major. Now that we have the chord progression outlined and the basic chords, we're going to take a look at the actual chord progression and talk about the extensions. So on this first bar thing, we got root, 5th, root, and then you get the 9th, and then the 3rd. It's a kind of an unusual voicing because you get those 3 notes lined up together, and it's kind of some kind of a cluster, and it's kind of unusual sometimes to have 3 notes side by side like that. But in this case, it works really well. So the first extension is the 9th here on this chord, which is also the 2nd note of the scale, but since it's an octave up, we called it the 9th. Then on the second one, you have this. So you got root first, major 7th, root. Again, we have the 9th, and here's the 5th. So we get here the major 7th in the voicing. The last black voicing, we're going to have this. And here we have root, the 4th, 5th, the 6th, and then we got roots. And then again, we have the 4th, but this time since it's an octave up like the 9th, we called it the 11th. So, okay, the next 8 bars, so we start on the A in the bass, so we're going to be over the A minor chord. And we have the first voicing, this is an A minor 7th. So we add the A, the minor 7 here, root, C, which is the 3rd, and then the 5th. So this chord, this voicing is actually used very often, and it's a good voicing if you want to play minor 7 chord, and it doesn't take too much space, and it sounds good at this octave. And now the second chord is going to be this. So we skip the 5th here, and we change it with the 11th here, which is also the 4th note, but like I said before, since it's an octave up, we called it the 11th. And then back to the A minor 7th, so we have. That's it. Until here you have a movement. Okay, and next we have same chords, and then we move over the C, which is the 4th, remember? And then we have this, and this is the exact same voicing that we had over the G. But now we have the same voicing over the C. So we have root first, root, and then the D, which is the 9th, and the E, which is the 3rd. So we have a C major with an added 9th. For the drum part, I'm going to go over 4 bar of groove, and I'm going to start with a kick and then add different element. The kick is from a pack called AT Synthwave by Sample Phonics, made by Absolute Valentine, I think. A great artist, great synthwave artist, by the way, check him out. And it's a punch kick, not the traditional 808 kick. So let me play the kick first. Okay, so as you can see, it's a very simple pattern. The 1, 3, and then end of the 4, and 1, and 3. And that's it for the kick. Really simple. Then I'm gonna play the hat. Again. You can put the MIDI so you can follow along. Okay, and the hats are, for me, the main attraction here in the drum groove, and they make a lot for it. There are like a melody inside the drum groove, and the drums are mixed really up front, and you can hear them really well. And they function like a question and answer with the first part here, that end with this, and then quick answer with the open hat here. So now I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna add the snare to the groove. Okay, so the snare is a little bit fatter than the traditional 808, and I bumped up here at 168. Arcade Summer, if you hear this, I think you're going to be happy. And so that's it for the snare, nothing special. The 2 and the 4, and then I'm going to add the last element I found is a rim shot. I'm going to play it. Okay, and it happens on every 2 bars on the end of the 4 here and here. And it adds a lot to the swing because it's placed on the end of the 4, and like the chords that you will hear on the chord progression, they happen here on the end of the 4 here and end of the 4 here. So they emphasize that's the right word in English. The chords here, the chord happen at the same time. So one interesting thing to notice. Then I'm going to go over the clap, dry clap. So again, they are played on the 4th here. On the 1st bar, then on the 3rd bar, and then the 4th here. And then you got the wet clap here. Okay, and the wet clap are interesting. They do like a twist kind of motif. Very old school, but it works really well. And they are also placed on the 4th beat here. Then you have just a regular crash here. Nothing special. It's a crash from the pack from Arcade Summer. Check him out. It's a great pack called Crystal Clear Drums. You can check them on the patchbay.com. Okay. So that's the drum groove, and let me play the drum groove again with all the elements. For this how-to section, we're going to go over the key of C major. It's going to be easier to build an idea for now, and then we're going to go over the chord progression in C major. So the 1 will be C major, then the 2 D minor, and then the 4 F major. So one thing to start building ideas from this chord progression is to find the common tones. Common tones will make the chord progression coherent, and it will make sense when you're going to build a melody or a harp over a bass line. So one thing we can notice is that the G is everywhere. So this note, we're going to keep this note over the bass line first, and then we're going to see what other notes we can keep. And actually, there is another note we can keep, is actually the C note that we have here. Also here in the 2nd chord, and also we have it here. So we can already have the G and the C. So if we play the bass line, we're going to have this. Now that we have this, we can add another note, but you can hear it already that it works well like this. So now we're going to go over here, and I put together a little harp that I'm going to play here, so you can hear it. Okay, as you can see, this little idea is based on exactly what I showed you before, where I kept the G note and the C that are the common tones of the chord progression. And it makes everything coherent in terms of harmony. And this is one idea here that you can use. And you can see that on the one, you get a ninth here. On the second, on the D over the D, you get as a minor seventh here, and also the 11th. And then over the F, which is the 4, you get the ninth. And that's it for this extension. And I played the F here because it makes the harp stronger to play the root here over the F. That's one example. And next, I got a second example I'm going to play for you. And here it's based on the 3-3-2 rhythm that you can hear on Clocks by Coldplay, very popular rhythm. You got a 3 note, and then 2. So the pattern is 1 bar, and it's used very often, so it's a good one to remember. So let me play that harp. Okay, so that's one way to explore the chord progression, and if you want to build an harp like this, you got to find the common tones first, then fill the void between those common tones with either the root, which is a strong tone, it's a good idea, or other notes, but make sure they fit the original harmony and they fit exactly the extension with the extension that you had before. So that's it for the how-to section. You can leave me some comments if you have any question regarding this section. Thank you guys for watching, and thanks to Redorex, Hot Heels, and Arcade Summer, aka Brad Ritz, for the support and advices. And I'll see you in the next video. If you have any suggestions about some synthwave artists, leave some comments below. I'll be glad to check them out. Cheers, guys.